Enjoying this rainy night. I'm sorry that I'm not starting with a shot of my face, but my holder has seen some better days, so I'm gonna have to figure out that sometime soon. But not tonight. Tonight, we're just gonna stamp. So let's see. I was going to do, let me see, let me show you. I was gonna do this card for you tonight. And then I decided they're going to kill me because it involves fussy cutting. So I decided I would not fussy cut tonight and just do, I'm still going to use this stamp set. I'm still going to use a lot of the same supplies, but I am going to branch out just a little bit. So if you are watching, as you come on, well, you're not going to hear this until you're on, but as you come on, go ahead and say hi in the comments. Tell everybody where you're from. Sheila is from Stamford. And I'm just getting a piece of cardstock that I forgot to get. Getting that from across the room. Crash is joining me tonight. You can't see him, but he is up on his perch as usual. So we're not doing this card tonight. We are going to be using, however, yes, a little bit of Granny Apple Green, but we are primarily focusing, oh, there's something on this one. I don't know what that is. Strawberry Slush. So Strawberry Slush is a returning InColor. It was an InColor, I don't know how many years ago, but it went away and it did not come back as a regular color. But it has come back as an InColor again. So, and it's kind of a pretty pink. So it's not so bright that it's Pepto-Bismol, but it is definitely like a pretty rose pink. And so that's why I decided I was going to use it tonight with my Along These Lines stamp set, which I would love to show you. But I don't know where my stamp set is. Let's see. Oh, here it is. So this is Along These Lines. And I received this at OnStage when I went to North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, with Sheila and Deb, two team members of mine. And this was the free set that I got. They got different sets, but I got this set. And it's got all sorts of nice little animals and objects done completely by just drawing some lines. I mean, I could do this one, but the rest of them I would not have been able to dream up. Oh yeah, I could do the straight lines too. I mean, lines are technically straight, but I could do this one, and I could do the heart one on my own, but the rest of them, wow, pretty impressive. Got this little orca whale over here, and you've got a little dolphin, and a birthday cake, dove, bicycle, sweet little dog. He's my favorite, I think, and tiger. The tiger's pretty impressive too. But let's go ahead and get started. It's a pretty simple card tonight. We're going to be, because Mother's Day is on Sunday, we're going to make a card that would be suitable for Mother's Day. I'm not going to put a Mother's Day sentiment on it. My mother is no longer with us, so I don't have one to send to her. I don't have a daughter or a daughter-in-law that's a mother. I suppose I could think of somebody that maybe is a mother that I would like to honor, who, you know, perhaps she's not going to get honored otherwise. I don't know. But we're just gonna make a nice sentiment inside. Now I brought in this this scoreboard because I really like using the scoreboard more than my paper trimmer. The only problem is, like, I went to dinner tonight after I designed the card, and now I can't find anything. Like, I can't find the stylus that I use with this. And believe it or not, my desk is not that messy. So I don't know where that dumb stylus went to. gonna cause a problem for me because I also don't probably know where my take your pick tool is. Well, oh, I found it. There we go. All right, so instead of just folding this in half, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a gatefold card. So that means that a quarter from this side and a quarter from this side fold in towards the middle. And I don't mind that this little mark is there because I'm going to cover it up with some white. So if I were to divide this length 8.5 by 4, I would get 2 1/8. So I'm going to score this at 2 1/8, which on a scoring board, oops, let me get this down here, is 1 mark past the 2. On your paper trimmer, which you can use a paper trimmer, on your paper trimmer, it's 2 marks past the 2, but on your scoreboard, it doesn't measure in 1/16. So I'm going to come to the other way. Now I could just rotate it around and do 2 1/8 from this side rather than have to do the math. And I'm pretty sure that's where most of you are at. Like, let's not do the math, Sharon. So, okay, we won't. So that's all that I need to do there. I'm going to fold this on here. Now, some people don't actually score the other side. They wait and they make sure that the middle lines up perfectly, which this one's pretty close to it, but you can always just sort of tuck it there and then use your bone folder to make sure that it's perfectly meeting in the center here. So that is our card base. I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap paper here because I want to put a design on the back. Well, on the front. It's the back area of the card front, but so I'm going to bring in my rose and I'm going to stamp it down the side. And I'm going to try, and it's going to be very difficult for me because I am on screen. I'm going to try to connect the lines. Ooh, I did it. So the lines that go up and down, I'm going to try to connect them. And I did it. So then I'm going to come over a little bit and I'm going to offset it a bit. And I'm doing the same thing. So I'm holding that front closed and then just connecting. And then I can come up here and do that too. So they're offset a bit. Can you see that? And so then we will, you know what? I'm gonna just keep coming down like this. And maybe this one has to come up like that. It really is surprisingly easy to connect those lines. And so then we'll come down in this space again and we'll connect them. Oops, I missed on that one, but that's all right. Ooh, this is going to overlap over here. That's all right. We'll make it work. All right, so there I have just a nice little pretty design on the back of my, or in the background of my card. So now, because I got this all inky, let's clean it. I'm going to bring in a piece of basic white, and I'm going to stamp my rose again, this time in Memento Black. So if any of you, if Reba, you're on here, usually you've said hi by now if you're on here. Anybody that doesn't live near me, let me know what the weather's like where you are. We have a flood warning. Not really at my house because we don't get any floods. But in the area there is one. It's been a day. There's been some big happenings in our area. For those of you who don't pay attention to Facebook, if you live around here, Biddeford had quite a scare today. Biddeford is a town that is 2 towns north of me. It's a city, and they had an incident at their high school where a student went to the gym and was going to the gym and saw somebody. I'm just coloring now with a Stampin' Write marker because I don't have my blends in these colors yet. They looked out the window and they saw an adult loading a rifle out in the parking lot. So that student reported it, thankfully, and they were able to get the high school in lockdown before he tried to make entry. He was apprehended. It all ended well, so that's very, very good news. But how scary. How scary for those students and teachers. I used to teach. Times definitely have changed quite a bit. I mean, they did, towards the end of my tenure, they started talking about, locking down the school, like, you'd have to let yourself be buzzed in to get in, but it really wasn't like it is now. I do know somebody that teaches in the Biddeford school system, but she's middle school, I believe, so. Their schools were locked down for just a short time, but they dismissed the high school after a while. Because, there was going to be no learning after that happened. That's for sure. A lot of parents hugging their teens tonight. And thankful that they're going to be able to celebrate Mother's Day. Let me bring it back around with their kids. So, scary incident anyway. All right, I'm going to bring in these textured notes dies, which are my new favorite, along with the everyday arches. I like them both. I like them both because they just adds a little bit more interest. So it's not just a regular rectangle that I'm going to get here. I'm going to get a decorative rectangle. So let me go ahead and get some tape on here so I can make sure it doesn't move. I'm going to center this. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to take a piece of my Granny Apple Green. I'm going to do the same thing. I don't really need a piece of tape on that though. So what if it moves? It's not like it's lined up with anything. I'll bring in my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. So I have a plate 1, 2, and 3 over here already. I'm going to put my rose through. And notice how I'm putting it on an angle because it's hard for the machine if this whole straight edge goes parallel through the rollers. So I'm putting them on an angle. It just makes it a little bit better for the machine. I'm going to run that through. Speaking of Mother's Day and honoring moms, and it is considered a gift-giving activity. I'm hoping my husband is listening to me a little bit on the other side of this, and he usually gets me something, even though I'm not his mother. But he does it for Matthew, and usually gets me a mani or a petty or mani petty gift certificate, and hopefully he will, even though I got mine done today. There's always next time. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop these up on some dimensionals and put this on. But another great gift idea, especially if you are not a demonstrator, is the starter kit. So right now, the Stampin' Up! Starter Kit is on a great sale. It is normally, you select $125 worth of merchandise and only pay $99, and you get free shipping. So this is what we're going to get, something that looks like this, but we're going to dress it up just a little bit more. I'm going to bring in some 1/4-inch ribbon. So normally it's $125 worth of product for $99. During the month of May, it is, wait for it, $165. So I don't know how long this is, but it's long enough. So this is just the 1/4 inch wide white ribbon. And it's kind of like, it reminds me of gauze. It's not gauze, but it reminds me of gauze. A little bit thicker than gauze, but still pretty thin. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some color because I don't want white. I want to tie in that pretty strawberry slush. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a blending brush. Let's see. See if I can find just a little blending brush. I don't need a big one. Well, let's get a new one out. Seems like I had that one just right here too, but I think Crash has been messing with my stuff. I don't know, Crash. I don't know where it would have gone. Well, let's see. Well, we'll just bring in a new brush. And this one's got a little stuff on it, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm just going to look on in one more spot to see if I can find it, and it doesn't look like I can. So, all right, we will just, maybe I'll get a bigger one out, one that's a little bit closer to pink, not the stark gray. I will find it exactly the second I stop looking for it. I know it. All right, so I'm going to just rub off that first little bit, and I'm going to just add a little bit of light color to this. Not a lot, just a little bit. I am going to make my own ombre ribbon. So this is not ombre, it is one color. I'm just adding a really light tone of that strawberry slush. Get towards the end, I have to go the other way. All right, so there we have that. Now what I'm going to do, now normally I would do this with a Stampin' Blend because it dries faster, but I'm going to make this work. I'm going to take my Stampin' Write marker. By the way, techniques with Stampin' Write markers is what's coming up for Technique Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And I'm just going to add this to the bottom half here. And your hands are going to get a little inky with this. And this won't dry as fast. Now the edge really takes on the color because it's got less texture. It's got a finer weave, I think. But what I'm trying to do is stay pretty much on the bottom half. Sometimes I get a little carried away and it goes above, but it does not have to be perfect. It really ends up looking pretty cool though. All right, so now remember how I said, ooh, where did myself go? I went somewhere. I was watching to make sure that you could see everything. Okay, there we go. Somehow when I was looking for my blending brush, I turned my computer into a different screen. All right, so now, normally I'd say I like to use my Stampin' Blends for this because it dries faster. But what you can do is you can still just do this. So I'm just kind of rubbing it on the white. I'm holding it with the inked side down, and I'm just doing this. So you can see some color poking through the back side. We're not really going to see much of the back side. I'm just getting a little bit of this ink off. Okay? And now I'm calling it pretty good, I think. One more pass. See, it's really not coming off very much now. So that's good. Now in this card, I do want a center. So I've just got a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4, and that's going to go in here. I think it's 4 by 5 1/4. This looks like it might be 3 3/4 by 5. whatever, one of those measurements works. We're going to bring back in our flower. So, you know what? No, what I want to do is I want to add in a sentiment on the inside. So the sentiment that I'm going to be using on the inside is "You're pretty wonderful." So that goes for a lot of different occasions, but certainly Mother's Day too. We're just going to put that right there. And then we're going to, now see, something is up because I don't know where. Did I put the, oh, I put it away. That's why I can't find it. I'm going to stamp another rose. I'm going to stamp it down in this little corner. Just because. And we're going to go back to Strawberry Slush. Maybe I'll stamp it in this corner. I like to sign in the bottom right corner. So now we will just add some adhesive here. Oh, this is coming out fast. My room is very, very warm tonight, and this is a brand new bottle of glue. So if you get those globs, one thing that you can do is take just a scrap piece of paper and kind of, well, I'm going to fold it a little bit and just spread it out a little bit because you don't really want the big globs of glue. Sometimes you can see the globs underneath. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this right in here. All right. And now this, because it's a gatefold, I can't put dimensions on the whole back because that would close that permanently. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in just a couple of these. Actually, I'm going to bring in 4 because I'm going to try to hold my ribbon in the center with some of these. So I'm just putting those right here. I'll take them off. And I'm going to bring my ribbon in. And I want it to go right in between there, so it's kind of holding it. The ribbon can still move back and forth, it just doesn't move up and down. So if I look and see, that looks pretty good. So now my ribbon's down, and I can just wrap this around and tie it. Tying it in a bow. The biggest challenge, right? And there we go. And because it's variegated, you know, it's going to look a little bit different on each side depending on what's showing. You do want to leave yourself some extra so that you can trim it though. Look at how much ink I have on my hands. That's more, it's more from the time before than from today or from right now during this video. If you'd seen me at Las Olas where I went to eat right before this, you would definitely know that. So I'm just going to play with my bow a little bit, make it the size I want it to be. And there we have our pretty little card tied up and ready to go. But of course, I have to untie it because I have to write a note inside. But that is our gatefold card for Mother's Day or a birthday or just because. Anyway, all right, so starter kit deal makes a great Mother's Day present or a birthday present, whatever's coming up for you. Go ahead and give that little bit of information to somebody on your list. And not only do you get a great deal on products, especially with a new catalog just out, but you would also enjoy at least a 20% discount from now until at least the end of October. So if you have any questions, you can send me a message, stamperhood@gmail.com, or you can just message me. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. The sun is coming on Sunday, so see you later.